So, jumping back to content creating, you started streaming and making videos as NewFoundKing.
Yeah, that's correct.
At the beginning of COVID. So for you, content creating is similar to me. We both kind of picked up and started back up at the same time, because it was around COVID for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you have more of a backlog of stuff, I believe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I have to sit down and look at your videos. I have no idea.
I know I started with YouTube much before I went to streaming.
Yeah.
So there's that.
How did you go about, like, did you start recording with a camera and yourself in the videos and everything like that, or do you even do that for your videos?
Actually, the only time I use a camera is when I'm streaming or right now. Like, I've only used it once in any of my videos.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I tried doing a VTuber avatar at one point. But I accidentally made it spin randomly, and it just went like crazy. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on the gameplay.
Well, and I think that's a balance for entertainers. Is what is the entertaining? This is an excellent question. What we've talked about, people saying that you have like a good voice for it and everything like that. What do you feel like is your commodity, as far as what do you bring to the table as a content creator that you feel like can set you apart for what you're doing? What's the thing that people are watching you for?
It's probably because I spam them with "watch this, please." No, I'm kidding.
Don't we all?
Actually, I think we were talking about this in the private call that we did to like kind of like go over things. It's I like to think that my niche thing is going around that calmer pace, because as I mentioned earlier in this video, I'm not very outgoing. I'm not very like loud or like, I don't know, like presentative, I guess. Like, you see me, I'm like hunched over in my chair, kind of like talking really close to my mic.
Hide my face, don't talk, don't.
So, a bit about me is I am like extremely introverted, and I am super, super antisocial. So I'm just kind of like, instead of faking kind of like a personality that I'm not, I'm taking kind of like my character traits and twisting them in a way to benefit my stream and or content creation, because it's like, it's much easier for me to like talk quieter and slower and all that stuff, rather than yelling and going crazy and all like the big pop-offs. And that's why it kind of centered around a more chill, relaxing kind of stream, because that's kind of my aesthetic, I guess, as a person, is that quiet, mellow, kind of like calming thing, right?
Well, and that's a great thing for you to do, I would say, is it eases the strain off of you. of having to keep up that energy, and it's especially draining for you, I can imagine.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I can relate to that, as like when I come home or if I'm walking around out in public by myself, I don't talk to people, I don't look them in the eye, I don't, you know, I'm normally very calm, sitting, kind of thing. When I get in front of a camera, I feel the switch in my head, and it's like, click, I'm talking, I'm on the show, I'm doing my thing, and
Yeah, exactly.
But the difference, I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, is when I get done with I'm happy and talking stream and I'm excited and all this stuff, I am energized for the rest of the day. Like, legitimately, like, I might have to stop streaming at night because if I have an exciting stream, I will not sleep.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I get a lot of energy and excitement from that. That kind of carries me forward, and it's why I do it. But for you, if you were to push this excitement, the return of excitement from streaming, you would be absolutely drained. Whereas if you had a nice long calm stream and everybody was just casually chatting and everything like that, you finish the stream and be like, that was a good day, and you're able to continue forward and continue your day, without I'm gonna reveal this about myself, I think, because I just realized it. I chase a high for streaming, which I think was the reason I broke so hard off stream when I wrapped up streaming before my break. Like, it was a hard break. I mean, hit the floor legitimately, like, got out of my chair and hit the floor. Because I felt that I wasn't receiving, it wasn't doing what I wanted. And it hurt. And so setting the expectations for the Wolf Show and what I'm doing allowed me to where I feel like I hit the middle ground of balance, where I'm excited because I'm excited about what I'm doing, not because of what I'm receiving from the stream. Last week, Shrek and I talked for almost 2 hours without any, I mean, we had maybe 2 people, that I could confirm, and had an absolute blast the whole time. And I look back on that and I have no problem with it. I ran out of questions, I got distracted, we kind of hit a dead lull kind of thing, and I had to come up with something, but I was testing new things out,
Yeah, exactly.
And this week, because of that and because of the test, I feel much more confident, and I'm excited about it, and I'm able to keep my I got to keep my energy here, because I feel like if I push it up here, not only would it be counter to your energy, because that's another thing that I would hate to do, is like, I'm gonna bring my energy up here, and you're gonna be like, this is exhausting. This human being is exhausting me, like, I need to leave. So I want to kind of match energies to some extent, to not only make you comfortable as someone who is on my show, but to, if any of your viewers who are coming into something and expecting that calmer thing. So.
Well, I mean, okay, there's 2 points that I want to make. So right now, the thing we're talking on, I've been told that I have like a very adaptive personality and things like that. Because like my best friend, he's like a total like crackhead. There's
we all have that one friend, right?
He's like super like hard ADHD, and so his brain is just all over the place, and he's like loud, and he's like outgoing and super
like
he's just out there, right? And to the contrary, I'm not that, but like we're best friends.
Right, exactly.
I enjoy hanging out with him and all that stuff. It does get draining sometimes, just because of who I am.
Right.
But I still love like every moment I spend with him.
Yeah.
And then going back to kind of like, I'm taking a big step back.
That's fine.
To the point where you're kind of like talking about how you kind of like live off your high of like streaming and stuff like that, as opposed to me, where it's like a more common mellow stream, right? I know a lot of people don't like this analogy because they don't feel like it's accurate, but I always compare it to kind of like a battery. Like I have a rechargeable battery, and like so do you. Your battery recharges when you stream, and after, like you said, like if your battery's overcharged, like you won't be able to sleep.
No.
Right?
I gotta burn off the energy somehow, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, it's more preserving my battery. Like if I was to switch it into, like say I was a standard day. I came back from work, and that drained about half my battery. And then I went to go stream, right? And I went into like a high gear, and say maybe burn my other half. What about a day that's really taxing, where I burn like 75% of my battery? I won't be able to put in the 50% that I need for streaming, meaning it's going to like suffer, right? So if I then change my stream so it's more preserving of my energy and things like that, and maybe I burn like 10, 12 tops, and so I always have that kind of like reserve and stuff like that. So I don't think it's more so as what's it called, kind of like how I feel after it, where like, it's more preserving it because I have a set amount per day, right? And then at that point I just need time to myself to be able to recoup.
Right. Well, and I think that ties into what you said about why you stream and why you do what you do. You do it as a hobby.
Exactly.
Hobbies are supposed to be calming, relaxing things that we enjoy. That is what they are supposed to be. And I think that's where you and I are on opposite ends of the same coin of streaming, where I intend this. I'm getting ready to start a Patreon in October. I intend this to be a thing. It's something that I've always approached as, I make posts as though I've got 1,000 people. I build my Discord as though I'm going to have a lot of people. I love any financial support that somebody can give me, and I do tweak that toward a focus. I would love that, and that would be the goal eventually, is to supplement any income that I'm making through this if I get enough viewership. But at the same time, I'm enjoying it enough that it doesn't really matter. But one of my goals is going to be on Patreon is like, if we can hit this goal, my wife doesn't have to work. And if my wife doesn't have to work, she can raise the kids during the week while I work, which will free us both up to care for our family better. That is my focus for what I'm doing with streaming. And if I can hit that goal, that would be amazing, but I'm still having fun with what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And if, for example, you were to say, you know what, I'm going to change my whole focus of why I'm streaming. I am going to stream for profit 100%. That's going to be my goal. You would have to, I would assume, approach your streaming and your YouTubing differently if your goal was for profit. Your marketing would be different. You're taking into account your limitations as well as your strengths. You would have to do things differently. But because you do it as a hobby, you are able to view it that way, as like, I have this much energy. This energy has been set aside for streaming, and I'm going to enjoy my time doing it. I keep hitting the computer. Bam. Which is then shaking the camera, and I'm sorry, I apologize. So I think that analogy is really good, because if you then chose to, say, up your streaming and everything like that, you would have to allocate more time and energy to streaming. That would be more of that battery.
Definitely.
So then you would have to figure out your work to balance that, and basic life stuff that still takes energy. Feeding yourself and making sure you're getting around and getting places and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
as a balancing act.
So I feel like it's a very appropriate analogy for what you're doing, and because I completely understand that, because my job just changed, where I worked 10-hour days, mostly out in the heat, driving around a truck, hurry up and stop, and I'm switching into working in air conditioning, very steady, consistent work of production, and I'm sitting there in a chair doing things with my hands, versus walking up and down stairs and in and out of houses and crawling around on my stomach, so I hit the end of the day and I'm more mentally tired, but physically I'm not as tired, which means I'm able to convert that physical energy into mental energy to be able to do things when I come home if I need to. So doesn't mean it's gonna work, I still might probably be exhausted, eventually and everything like that, and my job's even talking about switching to 10-hour days and we get a whole Friday off. If that happens, my whole streaming schedule is going to change. My whole thing, because I am allocating that to a goal, it's a job. And that's even, when people give me advice of like, don't treat it like a job, I'm like, but that's my goal.
Yeah.
My goal is to make it a job. So if you continue to give me advice about don't treat it as a job, that's going to hurt me. If I do not treat it as a job, if I do not treat it as these are my working hours, these are my off hours, I won't achieve what I want to do. So, flipping it around, because this is an interview.
Yeah.
For your YouTube videos, how do you... Hello? There it goes. I locked mine because I was like, the auto feature wasn't working for me, and I was like, well, I'm just going to lock it here, and we'll just hope nothing horrible happens. So... as a hobby for video, what is your goal of output? As far as like, how many videos do you want to put out? At what frequency, I would say. Because you said you apologized when you didn't hit your number, but how did you set that number as a release date or something like that?
Yeah, back when I had more time on my hands, I definitely was trying to make 2 videos a week.
Okay.
When I was streaming 2 on top of that, I wanted to upload stream VODs on Monday. Wanted to upload Wednesday and Friday, I think, or Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah.
It's one of those. I wanted to at least set a goal so I would kind of like have some sort of like obligation to do it, kind of like restrictions on myself so I don't like let it slack, because if you don't keep yourself up to a certain standard in like a hobby, you can definitely like things will definitely slip,
Right, of course.
And if perchance I did want to turn this into a career or something like that, I already have the groundwork to kind of like take it up a notch, right?
Right.
So if I do hold myself to a standard, I'm able to kind of like easily transition if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's kind of how I set the every kind of like little bit.
Nice.
So yeah, I think Wednesday and Saturday is like a decent time apart, like a 3-day and a 4-day.
Yeah.
Right. So at least people can expect something semi-regularly.
Well, and then you have to allocate time for editing and time for playing, because if you're
Exactly.
if you're a gaming creator, you have to actually play the game. You know, like me, I don't have to play anything. You know, we're sitting here talking. You know, like
Exactly.
you know, I just need someone to show up and have interesting things to say, and I'm good. But if you're creating YouTube content with videos, you have to first play the game, then you have to edit it, then you have to upload it, you know, and that all requires time allocation.
Yeah.
So, which then drains the battery, so you loop around there.
Yo, I got home from work last night at like 9.
Yeah. Ooh,
And then
that's
I
late.
Yeah. Yeah, the mall. I work in a mall.
Okay.
And it closes at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, I got home later. So the mall closes at 8. We stay till like 8:30 or so.
Yeah.
Like cleaning up, closing the place, and all that. And then I have a 35-40 minute drive home.
Oof, I feel that.
Yeah, it's all like down the highway.
Yeah, that's my drive right now too. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, 30 minutes, and hoping I don't get hit by the idiots.
So yeah, I got home, let's say 9:30 to be safe. I ate about 10ish or so. I sat down at my computer, and I started editing, rendering, and I uploaded a video.
I saw you posted
11.
it, so
Yeah, not 11. At like 1 a.m. is when I was like done rendering, editing, and all that. So it took me a good couple hours to get that out. But it was tiring.
I can imagine. that it's exhausting. I had to do that for this morning's video that went live. You sit there, wife woke up and was like, "Why are you still awake?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to finish editing. I'm trying to," like, and then you hit the render button. You're like, "Oh wait, this is gonna take an hour and a half to 2 hours." And I was gonna go to bed. Like, if something goes wrong, I'm not gonna be here to
Get over or something like that. Yeah.
Well, and I did have to learn that I have to upload. I have to finish editing, then I have to upload to my computer, then I have to go straight through YouTube's website, because if I try to go through my editor and upload it directly, it won't work. So.
Yeah.
Which I
work through After Effects, so I
gotcha.
render it and then I get the video and then upload.
Yeah, I'm using Filmora for mine, so I did a one-time payment and don't use it nearly as much as I should for the amount of money I spend, which wasn't bank breaking, but at the time it was like, this is a huge investment. I was making YouTube videos with my wife, and then we stopped pretty much after I bought it. Yeah. I'm glad I have it now, but at the time I was like really kicking myself. Like, I just dropped this money and I'm not using it. This was a poor investment. So.
Were you? Small question for you.
Yeah.
Were you using that for like your TikTok edits?
No.
No.
So for TikTok, for TikTok I do use, if I'm not uploading like a straight game video, like just like here's the gameplay. A lot of times that's what I do, is I just grab the gameplay from my Xbox and throw it into TikTok, add text over top of it, and boom, done. But if I'm doing a lot of editing and stuff like that, I do use Filmora Go, the mobile app, for it.
Yeah.
Because the interface is easy for me to use. For longer things, like YouTube videos and stuff like that, I use Filmora. If it's going to be longer than 10 minutes, I'm going to use the Filmora editor. If it's under 10 minutes, I can generally use my phone for it. So, that's what I use it for. TikTok, I normally just record straight on the app and just post it. So I saw you looking at the clock. We're coming up on 11 o'clock my time. So.
Yeah, it was more like I was looking at the clock and I was like, is that right? And then I looked at the time and no. No, it is not.
The clock is wrong.
Yeah. So anyone trying to snipe my location?
Hey, dude, that's a smart thing if you did it intentionally.
I did not. They just
The battery's dying and it's like, I can't handle it anymore. I can't keep the time. Oh man, we've done really well. Like we have not really had to pull out any of the other conversations that I was gonna, pull from this pile. We
even like reached the end of like the interview questions.
I mean, considering that I don't have a literal list of interview questions,
okay.
no, I did a lot of, we talked about D&D off camera, and yeah. I do well with the improv of let's go in this direction, and if I get good feedback like you've been giving me, I'm able to just keep that rolling. I will, I imagine I'll need to get better than that if I have somebody that I kind of have to like pull teeth a little bit interview wise. Like, you're not confident, okay, I will have to carry confidence for you.
Right.
So, and we're back for the Stream Raiders. I have fun with Stream Raiders. It's a fun thing to have just like running in your game.
Yeah, I noticed that's like one of the things you've carried over.
I have. Well, I figured it makes for a nice like break to the conversation, and takes the pressure off of having to keep talking, as well as a chance to do we have archers? We do have some. We'll run the archery one this time. But it also, I feel like it gives me an opportunity and you an opportunity to kind of take a breather, figure out what you want to say, if you feel like you need to change your topic or something like that. And I feel like it also gives you, it hides your camera off the stream. So like if you're like, okay, I need to do something real quick that I don't want anybody to see, you're able to do that. So.
Like eat the plastic off my soda bottle.
I mean, you do you.
There's evidence of that.
So, we're gonna win.
I have Korean barbecue in the fridge.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a good meal after this.
That's gonna be delicious. Making me hungry.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Yeah, because you just woke up, brushed your teeth, and like jumped in. Like, you haven't even eaten yet. So, what time is it now for you?
8:52.
8:52. So it's still breakfast time.
Yeah.
We'll do this.
I'm normally not even awake this early.
Well, I'm glad that I could get you up and moving. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm taking a nap after this.
Hey, you have done, for someone running in as little sleep as you are and as early as you're up, you've done very well. So,
Thank
you. I like it.
I'm used to running on low sleep.
Hardly any sleep. No, I mean it's a reality of like people's lives is, you run on as much sleep as you can handle. And as you get older, I'm not aware of how much of an age difference you and I have, if any. And because I'm going to be turning 32 in a couple of months, 5, same time my kids do.
You're what? Kids are turning 32?
No, I'm turning 32. My child will be born in March, which is when my birthday is.
I was like, that doesn't add up.
Yeah, I aged really well, if you can't tell. There's a lot of hair dye. No, I'm actually going the other way, where I'm like, come on, Gray, come on in. I want the distinguished gray lines in my beard. Like, come on. I'm weird.
Hit wizard level.
I'd love to hit wizard level, man. I'm finally working at a job where I can grow my beard out. So it's like, I can't grow it out too much, but And I mean, I'm growing this out to eventually be able to put it up. My wife was watching the video from last 2 weeks ago, and she was like, "Nobody can see your hair." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm bald. I'm balding." Eventually there will be a nice, wolf tail back here if it grows out enough, but like, the, that it's gonna take a little while. So, all right. So this has been a good interview. I do want to you just talked about uploading your newest video, which was a Nuzlocke.
Yes.
Of Pokemon. And so I normally break at 11:30 for me. So let's talk about your Pokemon gaming for a bit, because that's one thing we talked about off stream, is that you have played every Pokemon game except for the most recent one. I think is
played,
what you said.
I've played a lot.
You've played a lot.
I haven't played the most recent and two of the newer ones, but I have played like
starting with the Game Boy.
Yeah.
You started with Game Boy like I did. But I was playing Mario. So
actually there's a lot of games of the series that I haven't played, but like the main franchise I've played through like the handheld consoles.
Yeah,
I have played a majority, but like going to like the GameCube and all that, like I haven't played much of like Pokemon XD, which is like the Shadow Lugia version.
Gotcha.
Like Colosseum. Well, no, I haven't. I might be mixing it up, but I think Colosseum is the battle simulator on the 64.
It is.
I played that one. There was another one where it's...
I think my wife has that one. I think we played it once. So
very fun.
My wife was in, like, I went the PlayStation to Xbox route, and she went the hit Nintendo 64 and GameCube, and that was it. She can kick your ass in Mario Kart and Smash Bros, but she still, well, now she has totally redeemed herself though as far as new gaming. She Overwatch and Destiny she is really good at. But back to you with Pokemon. What was your favorite game of the Pokemons? Out of curiosity.
I'm biased because Kanto was my first region.
Yep.
So that's like the Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle region.
The one that most people think of when they think of Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. To start out, I really liked Fire Red. Just because it is like a really easy game for beginners.
Okay.
So I really like that one.
So what did Fire Red come out on?
It was the Game Boy.
On Game Boy. Okay.
Yeah, the Game Boy SP, I think.
Gotcha.
Specifically, or Advance, one of those. So it is like one of the older games. The next one I would probably say is I really liked Platinum. Just because it was honestly a really cool region. Lots of new additions, new Pokemon. I remember like when like Diamond and Pearl like came out.
Yeah.
And there was so many cool like different Pokemon. I was like stoked. So yeah, I'd probably say like those are maybe my favorites. I would have to say.
Nice. Yeah, the reason I have to ask the questions that I am currently asking is because I didn't play Pokemon. I have, or the games, well, my mom believed that Pokemon was evil, and
mine did too. That didn't stop me.
Yeah, I didn't have access or resources at the time or enough friends to, help slip me games and stuff. It was funny, years later, my mom was like, "Wait, Pokemon means pocket monster," and I was like, "Yeah, Mom." She was like, "Oh." I was like, she was like, so it wasn't evil. I was like, it could have been. You know, there are people who literally sold their lives to Pokemon. You know,
Yeah.
like in an unhealthy way, but you know, as far as you thought it was in comparison, like no, it wasn't evil.
Yeah.
um,
It was definitely fun. Branching off, I do play a lot of like ROM hacks now, or like remakes. of,
remakes,
like,
okay.
yeah. So like this most recent one I just finished. Well, kind of finished. Like I'm halfway through, but it's like split into regions. So I just finished the first region in it, and it's called Infinite Fusions. And the huge thing about this game is that you can fuse two Pokemon together,
Okay.
rather than like the standard thing. And so, like, you could take the head of Pikachu per se,
Right.
and the body of Charizard, and fuse them together to get an abomination.
And then you play with that.
And then you play with that, yeah, with its own stats.
Oh, jeez. Are they random stats or are they based on the body parts?
They are actually based on the body part, so there is a mechanic to it.
Yeah.
So the head generally would come first. So the head signifies your HP, your special attack, and special defense.
Okay.
While the body is based off of your attack, defense, and your speed.
Very
so
cool.
You kind of take that, and then it's averaged out at a 2-to-1 ratio. So the head, it'll take like the head and the body's stat average of like Pokemon 1 and 2,
Right.
and apply it as like a 2-to-1. So it would be like 80% or 80 attack, and then 30 attack, and then it would find the average of all three of those. So that's kind of how it like divides it up.
Yeah.
So you can get some pretty cool combinations, like pretty strong
Awesome.
things.
But clearly, you get some visual abominations.
Yes.
Because my question is, if you have a Pikachu head on a Charizard body, is the Pikachu head proportionate or is it tiny?
So funny thing is,
or is it custom artwork? I guess would be
a bit of both. Like they made it, and there's well over like 175,000 different combinations.
Oh yeah,
like there's a lot.
Oh yeah,
and I think in the Discord, like there's like numerous competitions, and like there's a Discord to it, right?
Right.
And they do have like competitions and like artwork and challenges and all that.
So let me take that. You're saying that people will like submit abomination Pokemon with combinations that they then put into the game as
Yes,
art.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
that's so cool. Oh,
And
that
so
is cool.
You do get like custom artwork and custom
Yeah.
things like that for it. And like I could probably send you an example that you could probably put in like the YouTube
Yeah,
video.
please.
Sorry, stream people, you're not getting
That I will hopefully build up to being able to do stuff like that, where I'll have artwork and stuff ready to go.
yeah.
I'll work on that. But what are you off the top? Like you're kind of. I think you have like an idea in your head. Like what are you thinking about sending me? Of artwork wise.
What do you want to see? Do you want to see like the Charizard with
Oh,
Pikachu?
you know what? Let's jump in with chat. Chat, who do we want to see? What character do we want to see to put into the YouTube video of the abomination character of Pokemon?
I'll send you two examples. One of like the custom sprite, and the other of like just the generator that does it.
Okay.
Because obviously they can't make all of them, right? So they put in an auto generator. But yeah, they're at least like 5% done. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of work.
You could literally take it and do a little bit of art stuff, and it's like, it's good. It's done.
I can show you an example I have right now. Maybe if it like I'll just send it.
Well, I mean, you could actually use Discord stream sharing to your camera and just pick the window of that picture, and it'll pop up, or it should pop up.
True. So
as long as you just share the one pop-up window, I'm okay with it. Please don't show your desktop. I don't know what you got on there.
Nothing to be ashamed of, actually.
I'm just kidding.
I have a bunch of games.
I don't want to have to shame you if you have, you know, files and files and files all spread out over your desktop. I saw somebody who accidentally shared their computer screen during a stream, and like it was the computer of shame, with just like their entire thing was full of like links and pop-ups and stuff like that. Okay.
I shared a specific thing. So.
Gotcha. Oh, those look so cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
And these are all like based around Bulbasaur and its evolutions and stuff.
Yeah, so that was strictly just Bulbasaur and like Ivysaur and Venusaur. Like there's.
Wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I will find just a random one. 143. We'll just type 143 and see what that is. So Snorlax. As you can see, like,
I know you just typed in 143, but I don't see 143. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So there isn't an individual 143. It's based off of Snorlax.
Yeah, because that's like Snorlax's number in the Pokedex.
Oh, I am loving this one down here. What's that? The Snorlax Dranini? 148, 143, 148.
Oh, that opened up a new thing altogether. Yeah. So like there's definitely some like cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. Some of these are definitely Frankensteins.
Oh,
I love that. Is that a take on Gyarados? 143, 130?
Oh. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So there's definitely a lot of like really talented people.
Yeah. Because I've seen stuff online before of like, you know, oh, here's my thing that I did, and it's like not good. You know, like, oh man.
So, yeah,
that's
this is
so cool.
This is the game I just was playing. So it's definitely a lot of fun to like mix and match and like kind of use your meta knowledge of like Pokemon, try and get a really good combination.
I imagine like if you have enough knowledge to know that this combo with this combo would be really good, you know. Oh
yeah,
that's awesome. So is this something that, a little bit of a plug, is this something that you are currently streaming, and you're not currently streaming, that you are currently going to be posting to YouTube, or are you just playing for fun?
I posted this to YouTube. So this is the game that
you're currently playing. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll put a link to that video in this when I upload this. So
awesome. I appreciate that.
My upload for YouTube won't go live. Once I start Patreon, it will go a week later. Normally, I'm going to be posting the videos 2 weeks after. But I think I'm going to post yours next weekend. And then I'll post Zathy's right before the next interview. So just kind of pace them out a little bit more, since I'm going to have 2 interviewees. So that'll work.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Dude, that is so cool. That artwork is amazing for all the different stuff. Yeah. Most of this artwork I've seen of that has been like horrible nightmare like crayon drawings, you know. So like to see all that really cool artwork is awesome.
Yeah, and I mean I sent you in the chat, in like our messages.
In our messages,
I sent you one I did.
Okay.
It's just above the 2. So I sent you like the two I based it off of, and then my take, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that you can
Awesome.
see. Obviously, it's not the same level as.
That's still really cool, dude.
Ones.
Those are really cool. That's awesome.
But I can also send you an example of like ones that haven't been done yet, and you can see how messed up they get.
Here's some really bad ones.
Well, it's just the generator, so it's not actually like targeting
artwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this is the random generator that we threw together, and we hope it looks good.
Yeah, as a filler until like
somebody comes up with actual artwork. That's really cool. So we've got about 20 minutes left. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that we talked about off stream, and we've mentioned mental health and stuff here today.
Yes.
You mentioned that gaming was one of the things that helped you with your mental health. Yeah. How, I guess 3,000 feet, you know, how was that? And then with the time we got left, we'll dig in to if there's anything that we feel comfortable diving into as a topic. So how did it help you?
Well,
or do we need to back up? So
no, it's okay, because I can really start like from. It did start at the same time as like when I first started gaming and stuff like that. It was kind of like a comfort thing, right? Like a lot of people I've noticed take comfort in like video games, and it is kind of like their own fantasy world or their own little like getaway, right? And it's the exact same thing for me. It is my place where I can get away. It's my place where I can relax and enjoy, you know, whatever the game has to offer, right?
Exactly.
So like when you boil it down, it really just comes to it's an escape from reality. And that's really how it's helped me through all my like mental challenges.
Yeah.
Is it does give me that moment of I'm able to, you know, play as a different character. I'm able to see, you know, their actions, their adventure, their consequences through their eyes and through this storytelling that this game provides. And not only that, is like I do have a very high respect for video games, just because it is it's a very unique way, a unique piece of artwork.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
Because it's like how do I put this? Imagine listening to a song or looking to a picture or looking at a picture and stuff like that, and then the song stops halfway through or part of the picture isn't revealed, and it's like, hey, you can't proceed like admiring this unless you achieve this objective, right?
Yeah.
Which is like a very unique thing that games do, right? Like if you're not able to surpass the challenge at hand, you can't continue, right?
Right.
There is always that motivation to press forward to see the entire creation. So it really helps a lot of things, as well as like it keeps your brain active in a lot of things, because I like a lot of not puzzle games, but like games that have more to it than what it seems.
Yeah.
And, you know, at surface level, if I like brought up Pokemon, you'd be like, oh, there can't be that much to Pokemon. And it's like
an accurate assumption of my view of Pokemon. You know, to me it seems very simple.
Yeah, but if I was to mention like EVs and IVs and training up your EVs and, you know, stab bonuses, that means nothing to you, right?
Barely. I mean, Eevee's one of my favorite characters, and that's about it. You know, like I like how they look. That's it. You know?
But Eevee's meaning effort values.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the terminology that you were using is different from what I thought. I thought you were talking about the Eevee Pokemon.
Yeah. Right. Like that's all.
Okay.
In-depth stuff to it.
All right.
And it's a lot of like that meta game stuff that you wouldn't really like notice right off the bat. Like if you notice that like as you're playing the game,
yeah,
you know, it seems your Charizard hits better with fire type moves than with a, you know, like ancient power rock type move.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stab bonus is when you use like a move with the same type as your Pokemon.
Yeah.
You get an extra 1.5 damage boost to that move.
Okay.
And if you're killing like certain Pokemon, like for example, if you go and kill like a bunch of Rattata, you would start getting like I think Rattata gives like speed EVs.
Okay.
And every 4 EVs that you get to a max of 252 increases your stat. So if you get 252 speed EVs, you're getting I think about 4 what's 252 divided by 4?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna say 50. I know that's a little under it, but you're getting like 50 more speed just from that alone, meaning you're going to outspeed most Pokemon because your speed stat is much faster.
And you get those from defeating those type.
From killing specific Pokemon. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right? So there's definitely a lot more
to
it than a lot of people notice.
Right. So there's a bit of a grind if you're like, well, I want to level up this particular Pokemon to have this particular bonus.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to focus on let's take out as many of this type of Pokemon to give me that bonus so that I can get that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for Gardevoir, you would want to get max special attack, max speed, because Gardevoir is generally a glass cannon.
Right.
So you want her to hit as hard as possible, as well as to outspeed everything so she can't get hit.
Right. Right.
So that's kind of like where you would focus on training her. Like obviously there's a bunch of different like things that you can do. Like it's not set in stone. It's just that is one of the more competitive ways to build her, right? Like these are actual builds, and then you go with like the Pokemon moves on top of it, right? Like you wouldn't put a like Fire Punch on your special attacking Gardevoir because Fire Punch is a physical move.
Okay.
So you're definitely like losing out on a lot of damage there because it's 2 different stats.
Okay. I see. All right. No, that was a lot of knowledge that I did not know. And
a little splurge, yeah.
A little splurge. That's amazing. It's making me reconsider playing Pokemon.
Yeah,
which is probably the goal of expanding information. You know, is like, oh, I want to get this person also excited about the thing that I am excited about, and get them to go play.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool. Jeez, I had no idea. Okay.
There's a lot more to it than a lot of people think, but that's another great thing about Pokemon is that it is that easily accessible to people who don't know that information.
Yeah.
Right? Like, most of that stuff is only important if you're, like, doing challenges or in competitive play. But, like, for the average player, they're not interested in that, so they don't need to know that.
Right. Yeah, because, like, before you just told me that, the way I would have played Pokemon is I would have focused on like getting this particular Pokemon and then trying to get a random better Pokemon without ever worrying about building up their skills. You know, because if I didn't know, I didn't know. You know, that's the way I play Pokemon Go. You know, is I just trying to keep getting a random Pokemon? But if you were to tell me that what you just said applies to Pokemon Go, well, I would change the entire way that I would play Pokemon Go rather than just constantly trying to get more and more powerful Pokemon.
I mean, they do have a little bit of it in Pokemon Go. Like you see it with the power, I think it's CP or something, right? Like the CP does scale, and like you notice it's slightly different for every kind of like Pokemon and stuff, right? And it portrays that in like the 3-star, 4-star, 5-star.
Gotcha.
Right? So it's a similar system, but not the same.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I've already heard before that like you can't base CP entirely. You know, you can't base your Pokemon that you're getting in Pokemon Go off of just CP. You know, because you could have a 1000 CP and a 2000 CP, and the 1000 could beat the 2000 because of the better bonuses and everything like that. You know, especially if your 2000 CP doesn't have a lot of health versus you know, like, just because this is a 2000 doesn't mean that it's going to win. You know.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the same, where if I specifically EV train a Pokemon, at level 30 could definitely beat a level 50 if like the
stats were different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's cool. So you said, like, to get a little bit kind of back into that topic we were on, was that it was comfort gaming.
Yeah.
And,
oops.
No, that's fine. I love the excitement. I just wanted to keep kind of on track with what we were saying for...
Yeah. Comfort gaming. Yeah, no, I just...
That was it. That it's very, allows you to feel comfortable and everything like that.
Yeah, it's a very good escape, right? And I feel like a lot of people can agree that video games do have that amazing way to portray like that escape from reality, right? Which is always a very nice break from like your own life. Like you can always rely on a game to be different, right?
Well, and I feel like rolling back to some of our earlier conversation is where we were talking about the no problem and no worries versus you're welcome. Escapism is often viewed negatively. Like, oh, well, what's so horrible that you gotta escape from it? And it's like
asking that.
Yeah, duh. Like, but at the same time, that the world is occasionally a very dark place. More often than not, especially in the way the world is currently, and we also live in a time period, depending on where we are in the US or in other lives, where we're not constantly busy. We're not eternally busy. We're not working until we sleep and then sleeping until we work. Which means that we have time to think, we have time to process things, and we have time for entertainment. And if you're going to have time for entertainment, then you want your entertainment to be something that is enjoyable or puts you in a particular mood. And if you are either going through something or dealing with something where you need to get away, there's not a problem with getting away. That's why we have imaginations the way we do in the first place, I feel like, is, we want to be brought to battle, and we will do the battle right before we wrap up. So the battle of life that we want to escape from, I can see that, and as someone who I think the new term, another term, is disassociating. Who did disassociate by reading and playing video games and disconnecting. I completely understand that, even if nothing horrible was going on.
Yeah,
So
it's, I find a lot of it also comes with kind of like a negative outlook. Like it's gotten better, but a lot of people do or did have a negative outlook on video games. How it was like,
yep,
corrupting the minds of the young and
yep,
all that stuff, right? But it's the reason I say like so much as the negative outlook as it is because a lot of people do have comfort things to escape, whether it be Sunday night football, whether it be knitting, whether it be, you know, playing solitaire on the computer. Like there's so many different like ways out.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, if you don't realize that the thing that you are doing is escapism, you're going to view other people's versions of escapism as negative. In exactly what you said. Like, oh, well, I've played solitaire for the last 15 years, constantly. Why? Why were you playing solitaire? What, you know, were you playing solitaire because it was fun, or were you playing solitaire because you just needed something to occupy your brain when it didn't want to think about other things? Like, having played solitaire, there is very little ways that I can think of that you're genuinely playing for fun. Just, I doubt it.
Who knows? World record solitaire.
You know what? If you
might be different.
I would love for somebody to come in either on the YouTube video or watch the VOD later and be like, I really love solitaire, and I'll be like, tell me about that. I want to know, like, because, you know, my brain, I've been enlightened to Pokemon, so now enlighten me to solitaire. You know, what am I missing?
Exactly.
Oh man. So thank you so much, NewFoundKing, for joining us today. Today has been a very fun conversation, and I appreciate you getting up early to join me. I just realized that I forgot to do the camera, so you were frozen. That was awkward. I was like, apologize for the frozen camera, guys. That's on my end, technical difficulties. But thank you again. This has been a wonderful conversation, and I'm definitely gonna have you come back on because I feel like we could talk about a whole bunch of other topics. And
I look forward to it.
I'm glad.
Maybe we'll get some D&D next time. I'm excited to talk about that. I have lots of stories.
That sounds amazing. I definitely look forward to pulling together a little bit of a panel for D&D conversations. And, so if you've been watching the stream the whole time and you're like, where the hell did D&D come out of this conversation? NewFoundKing and I earlier this week had a very long conversation about different topics and things that we could talk about and everything like that, and, you know, fitting them into 2.5 hours is difficult, and plus, you know, you need spread out content. So he and I will definitely be having a D&D conversation in the future. So
yeah, it was definitely fun. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be here.
good.